Hey, this is Mike Barnes, the financial first responder. Hey, listen up. I was thinking today, I was on a call with one of my mentors. Shout out to John. Phenomenal dude. One of the co-founders of Superhuman. And he was talking about either changing who you are or staying the same. And it got me thinking, for a topic today on Money Monday, there we go. I thought about financial behaviors or stay the same. Now, some of y'all may be like, financial behaviors stay the same. Yeah, your financial behaviors or stay the same. You see, what I've experienced over the years, some 20 plus years, actually 30 plus years, because I've been doing this since 1994, that the more I talk to clients, the more they stay the same. And what do I mean by that? You see, in the financial industry, we don't really talk to our clients about their financial behaviors. Sometimes we say, hey, you should be on a budget. Sometimes we say, hey, you should curtail your spending. Sometimes you have clients that you say, hey, have you thought about doing something different? But we never really hold them accountable. We never really say to them, like, look, if you want things to be different, you got to be different. We don't ever say that to them because we don't want to offend them. Now, if what I'm about to tell you offends you, I apologize in advance. But the bottom line is, if you don't want to look like those trees right there, bare with no fruit, you need to take a listen. So I'm going to tell you a story. I was talking to my children about finance. And what I learned in talking to my 3 children is that I have overburied, or I won't say overbearing, but I've basically talked to them until they're tired of hearing it. But yet, the proof of work always works. So, I remember when my daughter was straight out of college during the pandemic, and she lived with us in our basement for like 6 months. And she was so frustrated because she stayed in an apartment on campus with, I believe, 4 other young ladies. And she had her own autonomy, her own space, and she was able to go and come and do what she wanted to do. But when she got back home, Daddy's rules are a little different. Daddy was not about to have his daughter coming in all times of night. Not that she was doing anything wrong, but she was just hanging out with her friends, her sorors. And lo and behold, she came to me and she was tired of sleeping in the basement on a couch sofa, because we pretty much gave her room up when she left 4 years ago. Or it's been longer than 4 years ago, but you'll get the point. And we said, hey, it's okay if you stay here, get yourself together. But you got to have a plan. So my daughter comes to me and she says, Dad, I got a great idea. I said, what's that? Now, mind you, my daughter worked all the way through school. She was on scholarships. They paid her. She really was in a phenomenal situation. No debt, no college debt, plenty of scholarship money. She had set some money aside. She literally had money saved. She was not your typical college student that didn't have anywhere to go and no money and no job. She had a career and she had money saved that she had set aside. She said, Dad, I'm gonna move into a rental property. And I looked at her, being a landlord myself, for several years, matter of fact, over 20 plus years. And I said, absolutely not. Either you buy something and rent a side out, or you buy a house. You will not rent. Now, for some of y'all, I may offend you because your children have no choice but to rent. But my goal was with my children that they always had opportunities that other people's children did not. My motto is, I do today what others won't, so I can have tomorrow what others don't. And so she thought about it and was like, okay. Now, fast forward, she buys a house, or she's about to buy a house. And for some of you that I'm about to tell this to, you probably didn't know this, but my daughter had no credit. So she had the job, the career, she made good money, and she could afford the house. And she had money saved to put down. Now, she says it's a result of some of the lessons that I taught her, or her mother and I taught her. But I say to you is that your children watch what you do. And so watching what you do is based off of financial behaviors or doing the same thing. So go a little further. She had a loan officer. She got pre-qualified. But there was one problem. She didn't have any credit. So what did we do? We made her an authorized user on one of our accounts. And that jacked her score up, I think, to the high 7s. Just being an authorized user. Not that she could spend any money, but we put her on the account. Made her credit score go up through the roof. See, some of you haven't prepared your children when it comes to college. They go out and they borrow all this money. They go out and get a bunch of credit cards. And then their credit score is shot the pure you know what. So what I'm saying to you is your financial behavior is a direct proportion to what your children are going to do or not do. So fast forward, her first year in our house, she said, Dad, I'm gonna be a little short. I said, okay. I gave her some money so she could pay her mortgage. That is the only time that my daughter ever had to borrow any money from me for her mortgage. Only time. And that was because she had a fraudulent mishap on her bank account, and the bank would not give her back her money. I'm not going to mention the company she was actually doing stuff with, but it is a fact that it happened to her. It was fraud. Not her fault. So gladly, as a father, I did what I had to do to help my daughter. My daughter at some point said, Dad, you made me be an adult. I didn't want to be an adult. I said, well, you got 4 bedrooms. Why don't you rent some of your bedrooms out? She's like, oh, that's a good idea. So she started doing that. And she was very successful over the last 4 years doing this. So we were talking one day and I said, hey, baby, how much equity you got in your house now? Now you've been in your house, a couple of years. She was like, I don't know. So we looked it up. My baby had close to $100,000 worth of equity. And I sat down with her and I said, see, now had you been renting, yeah, you had the money saved and you didn't want to spend the money, but you have doubled your money and you've had tenants. Do you see the possibilities if you had 2 or 3 rental properties? She was like, yeah, I understand now, Dad. So what I'm saying to you is financial behavior or staying the same is based off of what you're teaching your children. Now, if you're teaching your children how to be broke, guess what? They're going to be broke. If you're teaching them how to be financially savvy and financially free, they will be financially free. My daughter is now 26 years old. She's successful. And she's still making great money from her property, which she dubs out as rental property. See, some of y'all have forgotten that back in the day, people would move in together to save money, or family members would go out and buy a property and live with one another, and then they go out and buy another one and live with one another, and then eventually the family themselves would own 4 or 5 properties because they helped each other out. Some of y'all need to stop being selfish and stop thinking you should own it by yourself, and either rent out portions of your house through, some of these companies out here that do temporary lodging, not naming any, that's for you to find out. Or you need to figure out ways that you can logistically change your financial habits. Because I did a video about this the other day called What is the Financial The? And the financial the is your financial tasks, your financial habits, and your financial efforts. And some of you have yet to figure out that your the in your life is telling your story. Yes, your financial tasks, how well you spend your money on whatever you spend it on. Your financial habits, basically how well you use your money. And your financial efforts, how well you actually earn money or obtain money, is holding you back. You see, as the financial first responder, I only want the best for you. But the problem is that some of you don't want the best. Or you want the best, but you don't want to put forth the effort. So I'm on my way to the gym. It's pretty much after lunch. But I know that I have to get that in if I want to stay healthy. Now, from a financial standpoint, a lot of you never even look at your accounts on a daily basis because you're either in denial or you're in the mindset that it really doesn't matter because it's not going to change anything. What I've learned is what we focus on is what we accomplish. So, with that said, I need you to start focusing on your the. I need you to start focusing on your financial tasks that you have to do. That's your daily task. Your financial behaviors, how you choose and respect and use money. And then I need you to look at your efforts of how you earn money. See, most of you will make $1 million in your lifetime, but won't save half of it. And with that said, it's strictly up to you. So, with that said, I'm going to sign off because I'm getting close to the gym. I'm going to listen to a little more music. But I only want the best for you. But as I tell my clients, if I want more about your finances than you do, then there's a problem. Until we talk again, this is Mike Barnes, the Financial First Responder. Remember, you can change your financial situation. But it happens when you change. God bless. Please like and subscribe. I'll talk to you later. Barnes out.